Hello, viewers. This time, another poem, Keeping Quiet, written by Pablo Neruda, one of the very important poetry. Okay, so the theme first. The theme is introspection, Atmasamikshan, self assessment, peace and silence, or tranquility. Silence and tranquility is same thing. So this is the theme subject. Okay, and this is an anti-war poetry. The beginning is now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. I told you in the theme that it is about self introspection. So this is count to 12 is giving ourselves time to prepare ourselves for a meditation or self introspection. That is the beginning, and we will keep still. Will not speak anything and will not do anything. And he says that let us not speak any language and stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. So he is against to speak any language or moving the arms too much. He wants to say that actually different languages create barrier between people, among people actually. So this barrier is unnecessary, and it is unnecessary to move our arms so much, because arms here symbolizes weapon, and at the same time using our arms, so we create violence. Poet doesn't want any violence. Poet doesn't want any kind of conflict created by using different languages. Okay, next he says that he wants a world which will be without any rush and without any engines, because he thinks that actually engines create pollution in the world. So therefore he is against the uses of engines, and he also urges the whale hunters in the deep sea to give up altogether hunting whales. Actually, whales here symbolizing the whole animal kingdom, and he says that it is unnecessary to kill animals for human needs. He also says that we should not exploit nature too much. In your book, it is written the man gathering salt will look at his hot hands. So he advocates against the exploitation of nature. He says that it is unnecessary. Gathering salt here actually symbolizing the exploitation of nature. He is against that, and he invites all the warmongers. Warmongers मतलब जो लोग लड़ाई हमेशा करना चाहते हैं अपने स्वार्थ सिद्धि के लिए, उन लोगों को इनवाइट कर रहे हैं. The people, the warmongers who wage chemical war. Chemical war means the war with gas. Green war means environmental destruction, and wars with fire, it means the war using bombs. He is calling all these warmongers together, and he says that give up all kind of war, put up clean clothes. Okay, clean clothes here symbolizes peace, and let's stand together in comfort doing nothing. So when he says doing nothing, at that time he doesn't mean that we should be lethargic, we should be lazy. He says that it should not be confused with total inactivity, that you will give up chemical war, you will give up the war with bombs, you will stop destroying environment and stand together doing nothing. Doing nothing doesn't mean that you will be lethargic and lazy. He says that actually life is what it is about. He says that he wanted to say life is about creative actions. Life is not about destructive actions. To stay away from all kind of destructive actions. And if we were not so single-minded, he wishes that if a human being could be not so much self-centered, not so much selfish, because human being always thought about himself, nobody about nobody else. So therefore he says that, and for once could do nothing. He says that if we could stay away, abstain from any kind of destructive actions, it could have been fine. And he says that for doing this, one thing can help us, that is self introspection. If self introspection we practice, self assessment or meditation we practice, we can find fault in ourselves where we are wrong. And then we will not bully each other, we will not threat each other with death. Okay. And while doing the self assessment, this meditation, he says that if we look at the mother earth, if we could look at the nature, the um, many times we thought that everything in this world is over. In this world, many times the wars took place, and after each war, people thought that now everything is over, everything is destroyed. But nature proved us wrong. It revived itself. It is about revival, it is about rebirth. So for revival and for rebirth, we can look at the nature, and self introspection can help us. And at the end, he says that, so I may go now. I have taught you my lesson. My legacy will live on, I hope. And right now, I will count to 12. You see, another time at the beginning and at the end, counting up to 12 is written here. So the significance of this is that it gives us time to prepare ourselves for this self introspection or the meditation. So that is why counting up to 12. And he says that although I may go, but I hope that my legacy, his legacy, will live on. That is the explanation of this poem. Okay. And in this, lots of symbolism is used, lots of symbols are used. Right from the beginning, we can see arms. I told you it symbolizes weapons or violence. Speaking language, symbolizing creating conflict, because unknown languages will create conflict among people. Then whales, symbolizing the animal kingdom. Then gathering salt, it symbolizes chemical, the exploitation of nature. Okay, so lots of symbolism is used here. Then putting clean clothes, it symbolizes, clean clothes symbolizes peace. Clothes where there is no sign of blood, where there is no sign of any violence. So that is the clean clothes. And doing nothing, once again to repeat, doing nothing doesn't mean any activity to becoming lazy or lethargic. Doing nothing means abstaining from all kinds of violence, because life is about creative action, not the destructive actions. And then he says that the earth, once again, the symbol of revival or rebirth. Okay, lots of symbolism is used here. He says that we can look at the earth for our inspiration, because every time we thought that everything is over, everything is destroyed, Mother Nature, Mother Earth once again revived or given itself the rebirth. So earth can teach us like that. And at the end, once again, counting up to 12, you can start your meditation. The poet says that, and I can count up to 12, and I may not come back, but I hope that my legacy will live on. Thank you very much for your time. That is the explanation of keeping quiet. You can call me on my number for any kind of queries. And I have already talked about my very fresh, very new YouTube channel, which for the time being it is exam times, it is for the educational, purely educational purpose, and later on it can be used for other things like sports, music, entertainment, other things. Thank you very much. Best of luck.